Hello everybody, Tyrone the God 3 here. Welcome back to Dragon Ball Super Reviews. Today we'll be doing the review of episode 117. This episode's title, Showdown of Love, Androids vs. Universe 2. I know I'm a week late on this and $1 short, but I want to go ahead and review this episode, and then I'll probably end up reviewing the next episode the day after. So, this episode didn't annoy me, actually. I liked this episode. This episode, out of all the Dragon Ball Super episodes I've watched, it's not the best one, but I gotta say it was thoroughly enjoying it. I don't know what it was. Maybe it was because of the fact that we weren't focused on Goku for once, or maybe it was the fact that we weren't focused on Jiren or the female Saiyans merchandising their way to fame or whatever. I guess it was just because it was a simple Android 18 and 17 fighting off against Rebreen, and it came out really well. And it was good. The episode started off, with Goku still weakened from his fight with Kefla. And then Universe 2 comes in, and they're about to put the smack down on Goku. But then Rebreen wants to beat Goku as well. She wants to be the one to knock Goku off because everybody wants to pretty much knock out Goku. And at this point, what ends up happening is Android 17 and 18 come to the rescue, and they fight off against Rebreen. Android 18 mostly fights off against Rebreen, while 17 fights off against a couple of the other fighters from the other universes. And Rebreen goes into this whole thing where it's like, how can you be in love with that guy Krillin because he doesn't have a nose? 18 gets annoyed, and they end up having this big fight. And long story short, at once this point, we can see that Android 18's injuries were slightly getting in the way too sometimes. But what ends up happening, Rebreen ends up absorbing. It's kind of like the Spirit Bomb, only instead of energy, it's love. She absorbs love from literally everywhere. Even at Universe 2 is holding up these little lights, giving off their love, and it transforms Rebreen into this giant Rebreen. And I thought that was pretty funny. I thought that was pretty comical. She's attacking Android 18, all Colossus style. And I love how Android 18 just buckles down, and then she runs all the way up. And this was my favorite scene actually in the whole episode. She's running up to Rebreen, and Rebreen just shoots its energy bomb at Android 18, and then 17 flips in, comes out of nowhere, and uses the energy barrier and blocks the entire attack while they're running through. I thought that was a really cool scene. I like that. It was nice to just to see that teamwork and to see that be done. It was really cool. It kind of weirds me out. Every character in Dragon Ball Z can pretty much use energy shields. It's not a power specifically to Android 17, but I guess they just consider for merchandising purposes and for video games and to sell toys and stuff. They decided to make the energy shield Android 17's particular technique. Whatever. But then, it's really cool, and Android 18 does this awesome, jump and then fly straight to the head, does this cool, energy blast punch deal, knocks her brain, blasts her way, and this is a whole epic, huge explosion, and her brain finally falls out of the arena, and she's lost, and that's basically it for them. A couple other things happen on the side. Goku, for some reason, I don't know how the hell this is possible, but Goku is fighting, 3 other fighters from Universe 2, even though he just got out of 2 fights, both of which he had to use Ultra Instinct. How is Goku just not a pile of mush on the ground getting kicked around by Universe 2 fighters? This actually would have been kind of cool to see Goku struggle to fight these fighters because he can't really fight. But no, he's just at base form fighting them now, and that's kind of annoying. And then what gets even weirder, Goku ends up in the fight with 17 and 18 and transforms blue, and it's what? And that's in a later episode, but I'm just saying, it happened all within rapid concession. It's he just got done wearing himself dry, fighting off 2 fighters, both while at Ultra Instinct, and only 3 minutes have passed since that. So it's just okay, I guess. But there's another thing that ends up happening. Vegeta tries to go Ultra Instinct because he saw Goku do it. He wants to try to do it. And he ends up getting smacked in the face. And I'm kind of glad. Actually, no, I am glad. There's no kinda about it. I am glad that Vegeta failed at turning Ultra Instinct. Just because Goku ends up transforming into a stage doesn't mean Vegeta has to get it as well. I'm tired of Dragon Ball Super, not just Dragon Ball Super, just Dragon Ball in general lately, feeling like they have to have Vegeta catch up to Goku every time. Yes, I know they're rivals, but there's other ways to do it. Like, I already said this, so I sound like a broken record, but I remember Vegeta he went Ascended Saiyan, which isn't the perfected version of transforming into the next level of Super Saiyan, but it was a branch that he chose to use. And then Goku ends up going full power at Super Saiyan, which was a different branch. So they both found ways to get stronger, but they were different ways. It's just like, why does Vegeta have to go Ultra Instinct? Can't he unlock some new Super Saiyan transformation or something? Like, isn't there a way he can do this that isn't copying off of Goku? But regardless, I digress. Vegeta gets socked in the face, and he's struggling to fight this Kamen Rider ass dude, who is pretty funny. But overall, Rabreen falls, and I just loved the fight there because, honestly, I really liked Rabreen. A lot of people, just in the audience in general, like people watching and stuff like that, wanted Rabreen to get knocked out fast because they were getting annoyed by Rabreen. I personally like Rabreen. I liked the amount of characterization and comedy, humor, and personality she brought to this tournament. And it definitely separates her from punching bag number 48 from Universe Who Gives a Shit. So, I liked that. Like, that was good. That made her a very standalone character. And the fact that she lasted this long in this tournament was very cool. And it is upsetting to see that she, in the end, ended up losing. But, you know, she had to lose at some point, obviously, because she's not a main character. So, yeah, that's finally over. And then the episode basically ends there. So, overall, I liked this episode. It was jam-packed with action. And it focused on Android 17 and 18. And it did a really good job on focusing on those two, and Rabreen, for that matter. So she made for a really cool opponent, and this made for a really cool fight. And obviously, the androids, the power levels are all over the place, so I don't know who's strong as who, or who's stronger than who, or whatever. But as far as just regular fights go, if we're just having the basis off a fight in itself, this was a cool fight just to look at. It was a nice fight to look at. And it had a lot of things going for it. Mostly because it just didn't focus on merchandising at this point. It focused on, you know, showing off Android 17 and 18. And how they can fare against a fairly powerful character. Who's also comedic. But the next episode is titled Episode 118. Accelerated Tragedy. Vanishing Universes. So I'll see you all then, everybody. Tyrone the God 3 out.